Many of us are familiar, or we remember the painter Norman Rockwell. He lived for a while right here in New Rochelle. And his paintings used to adorn the cover of Saturday Evening Post. And one of the paintings was called Breaking Home Ties. It's a marvelous study of a family saying goodbye. A young man is ready to leave the farm to go out into the world to make his own living. He and his dad are at the train station. They're sitting on the running board of their truck. And the father, you couldn't tell, is sad, but you could see the wrinkles and the pain in his face that his son was going to leave. And the son has an expression of sadness, but excitement in his life. And I guess it all can be summed up by the scene of their dog, their collie with his chin resting on the little boy's lap. The dog is there, and you could see the dog knows something sad is going to happen. But yet, when we look at that scene, that picture, I guess the question might come to us, where's the mother? Everyone is there from the family, but the mother. Where is the mother? It seems she said her goodbyes at home, yet the mother is very much in that picture. The mother is very much in that picture by Norman Rockwell. She is there with her presence in a brown paper bag, the lunch that she has given to her son. She wrapped her whole love into the bag, that little brown bag. The mother was able to condense the full expression of her love in a small little package for the son. Norman Rockwell's Breaking Home Ties can really be, in a sense, symbolic of what today is about the crucifixion and Good Friday. Until we can condense our life into loving God with our whole heart and our whole soul and our whole being, and we can love one another, every one of us, as God has loved us, to condense that, miss the point of Good Friday. You see, the picture of Calvary tells us that God Almighty condensed his great love into one person, into the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And so that Jesus Christ stands before Pilate, and he says to Pilate, the reason I was born, the reason I came into the world was to testify to the truth. Anyone committed to the truth hears my voice. And Pilate says to him, truth. What is truth? And what's the question for us this Good Friday day, this year, 2023? What is truth? Truth is standing before the cross of Jesus Christ on Good Friday, standing below the cross, dependent upon God for everything we have. Truth is standing at the foot of the cross, getting rid of all self-centeredness, egotism, and pride that encrust our souls sometimes. Truth is standing before the foot of the cross, embracing Christ's spirit of humility, other selfishness, and brother and sisterhood in Christ. What is truth? It's standing at the foot of the cross, getting rid of all exploitation of other people. It's standing before the foot of the cross, stripping ourselves of everything except the love of God and the love of one another. Truth, what does that mean? It means standing before the foot of cross of Jesus and asking for forgiveness if we've hurt anyone in our life. It's standing before the foot of the cross, asking God even to forgive ourselves, that we allow ourselves to be forgiven. The foot of the cross means that God forgives us and God dies for us. You see, St. Paul has written, and I quote, if death began its reign through one man, Adam, because of an offense, so much more will we receive the overflowing grace of God in Jesus Christ. Just as one single offense brought condemnation to all, one single righteousness brings life to each and every one of us. Because of that cross, because of Good Friday, we have acquittal. We are not guilty. We are saved. Because of that cross, Jesus Christ has saved each and every one of us. Now it remains to be seen, truly, that we know what the truth is. The truth truly is that God spread his arms on that cross, that God spread his arms out and said, now do you see how much I love you? Do you know what I know? And that is what truth is. To quote Bishop Fulton Sheen, you know, as Jesus hung on that cross, bleeding, there are different types of people below that cross that first Good Friday. First, there were the people who hated Jesus. Our world is filled to this day with people who hate Jesus. So they hurled a challenge to him. They said, if you are the Son of God, come down from that cross, come down, and then we'll believe. Sure, they'll believe. They'll believe everything, anything. Just no cross, no mortification, no self-denial. It wasn't weakness to hang on the cross. It was obedience. If Jesus had come down from that cross, we never would have been saved. It's human to come down. It was divine to hang up there. So many will say, I'll believe anything. I'll believe anything. I'll believe he's divine. I'll believe he's God. I'll believe his church. I'll believe anything. Just no cross, no mortification, no self-sacrifice. So those who hated Jesus as he hung on the cross, our blessed Lord prayed for them on that Good Friday. He said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And secondly, under that cross were those who suffered justly. There were two thieves, as we know, on either side. They both in the beginning blasphemed Jesus. Then finally one of them realized what was happening and said, leave him alone. We suffer justly for our crimes. This man has done nothing to have this crucifixion. In other words, in life we know there are trials. In life we know there are hardships. And maybe that's the penalty for sin sometimes. If the Lord brings us pain sometimes at the end of the day, it's not that he wants to do that. It's maybe because, like Christ, he suffered, we suffer too. And yet that thief alongside of Christ, he died a thief. For Christ said to him, this day you shall be with me in paradise. He stole paradise. And for each and every one of us, paradise can be stolen again. And yet there were not only those who led evil lives, who suffer, there were also below that cross, as Fulton Sheen said, those who led great lives, wonderful lives at the foot of the cross, particularly the Blessed Mother. Sometimes we ask ourselves, why do I have to suffer? What evil have I ever done? What evil did the Blessed Mother ever do? What evil did she do, but she suffered? You see, to be a Christian means that at times we will suffer because we imitate Christ, and Christ truly suffered. And certainly our blessed Lord suffered on this day, Good Friday. But you know, and I know, that no one takes God's life, Christ's life. He lays it down himself. He commends his soul to his Father in heaven, and then something happens. This is the moment of eternity. At that moment, a soldier drives a lance in the side of Jesus, and all of a sudden, the Holy of Holies is open. Christ bows his head and dies and says, it is finished. And yet for us, it is never finished. It's only to begin. You see, on that Good Friday, Jesus laid down his life for you and for me for one reason, because he loves us so very much. And as soon as that soldier drove that lance into his side, heaven was open, and you and I are saved.